In the last video, we told you that Bitcoin would rise in the following manner, and that's exactly what happened. In this video, we'll answer whether this bullish momentum has already come to an end, or if, on the contrary, the trend is set to continue. Let's start by talking about the traditional market. Here, we're looking at the SHIB 500 chart on its 4-hour time frame. It's worth remembering that we've been working with a large wedge pattern which has broken out, and its structure will determine whether we should expect a trend reversal in this macro uptrend or not. What we're observing is that we've recently seen two attacks that smart money has actively defended. In other words, the SHIB 500 in the traditional market can be described as entirely bullish. The same applies to the Nasdaq, as you can see, because these are assets that behave very similarly. If we've been working with a macro wedge, that wedge has broken out, as you can see on screen. It appears to have tested that area, and just like with the SHIB 500, smart money seems to have decided to protect it. Since the price has tested it on 2 occasions and faced strong rejection, we can also conclude that, for now, what the Nasdaq is telling us, just like the SHIB 500, is that we can remain optimistic about the traditional market. This doesn't change. But here's where things get interesting: MicroStrategy. As you can see, MicroStrategy recently created a structural trap that we had been considering. Thanks to cross-analysis and what we were observing in Bitcoin and other crypto assets, everything pointed to a high likelihood that MicroStrategy, with this drop, might be signaling that it had reached a market limit. And honestly, seeing how the price has recovered to the $326 level is excellent news for Bitcoin and the crypto ecosystem. Losing that level would have been a bad omen for the entire ecosystem. That's why we can say that the traditional market is looking positive, and MicroStrategy, which acts as a kind of bridge between the traditional market and crypto, essentially serving as a proxy for crypto, is also showing bullish directionality. Therefore, both the traditional market and MicroStrategy, a solid crypto proxy, are presenting a scenario where, based on how we understand smart money operates within these structures, we can continue to maintain a positive outlook. In fact, over the past few weeks, we've already been optimistic, partly because we anticipated this could be a trap, meaning crypto would need to rise. That's why, in previous videos, when Bitcoin was around this point, what we projected at Crypto Insight was an upward move for Bitcoin. Looking at the 1-hour chart, we expected a very controlled rise, as you can see, breaking the creek with strength. What are we observing here? On the left, we have a full bearish distribution process that has left behind a defense zone. This defense zone is protecting the price, preventing it from moving higher. But what are we expecting in this particular defense zone? We expect it to break to the upside because we remain optimistic about the entire crypto ecosystem. Just as I mentioned earlier about this high volume node and the potential for a forceful breakout, the story here is quite similar. We anticipate that once this defense zone is broken, there will first be some resistance, but eventually, it will break through with strength. When the defense zone is no longer upheld, the price finds no more resistance. We had many reasons to think this way, thanks to cross-analysis. For example, in Ethereum, on the 1-hour time frame, we had been working with a structure, a creek, passing roughly through this area. We were also analyzing a flat pattern in the price movement. When the price was around this specific point, right here, we stated that what we expected was a very aggressive bullish Z pattern, just as you can see. And what are we analyzing regarding this downward impulse? A corrective pattern. Yes, the formation of a corrective pattern. Therefore, we're expecting the development of a bullish Z pattern, one that will come to correct this initial impulse. And this isn't something we only observed in Bitcoin and Ethereum, we also noticed it in charts like Solana's. Here we had a more horizontal creek, and although the price was already trading higher and had broken the structure, which might have initially seemed like a risky move, cross-analysis allowed us to understand that from this point, the price still had room to rise. We can see here that there was also a downward impulse which came into contact with the structure. This impulse is now undergoing a corrective process. It's a complex corrective pattern involving a W, a Y, and a Z that is still forming. Additionally, we've drawn a creek here as we're analyzing a bullish accumulation process. This accumulation process has already broken to the upside. Therefore, once again, we have 2 factors pointing to a bullish market sentiment. But first, let me remind you that registration for our private channel, Crypto Insight Premium, is still open. In this exclusive space, we provide daily live technical analysis of the market, along with updates that we believe are key to staying informed. It's also a place where we share trading ideas and feedback, allowing us to grow as a community and continue learning every day. Signing up is very simple. The requirements are as follows. You need to be a user of BitUnix or BuyDFI, have deposited cryptocurrencies into your BitUnix or BuyDFI accounts with a minimum value of $100, and use this account as your primary futures trading account. In other words, you need to be actively trading. Once you've met these requirements, simply fill out the form displayed on the screen. It consists of just 5 simple questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't miss this unique opportunity to become part of our exclusive Crypto Insight Premium community. Come join us, we're waiting for you. Let's evaluate what we can expect from Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptos. I want to remind you of that red alert we mentioned a few weeks ago, where we emphasized paying close attention to this specific structure. As we've seen, this structure has not been breached, and today, that alert is entirely entirely deactivated. Not only has the structure remained intact, but we're now seeing a creek being broken to the upside, which is where we currently find ourselves. What we're going to do is assess how optimistic we can be based on this event. We'll cross-reference this with the analysis of other assets to determine whether it's worth leaning more toward a positive or a negative outlook. I'll explain it to you now, but first...
Welcome to Crypto Insight, your ethical and moral channel for cryptocurrency technical analysis. Here, we really know what we're talking about. We conduct advanced technical analysis that has been developed for over 12 years. We upload videos several times a week. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, let me know and leave a comment with your opinion. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss the next opportunity.
Before we move on to Bitcoin, I want to talk to you about Ethereum. We can say that the price has broken out of the wedge in a very, very aggressive way. It was compressed into a key, relevant structure, and we interpreted this compression as a process of accumulation. Now, here we have the breakout, and after this impulse, it seems like the price is being followed by this trend line. However, from Crypto Insight, we want to caution you about this trend line. In other words, and you'll understand this through cross-analysis, it makes sense to watch the crypto market. And remember, we're on the 1-hour time frame, so it's possible to see some short-term drops. We'll explain why and how far these could go before the price continues its upward movement. If we're analyzing this structure, it's to assess its failure and breakout. Honestly, we don't know exactly how, and we don't even know if it's going to happen at all. But it wouldn't be far-fetched to see a breakout in Ethereum. We'll see if they want to reach the origin of the breakout or not. Maybe they'll create a gap, we'll see. But ultimately, the idea is that this impulsive bullish movement will continue. In other words, as I've shown you earlier with the traditional market and with MicroStrategy, we're bullish on Ethereum, and as you'll see with the other cryptos, we're also bullish. What we're telling you is that it wouldn't surprise us in the slightest to see short-term drops before further bullish continuation. Now, looking at BNB on the 1-hour time frame, we see the breakout of a creek. Honestly, I find it hard to believe that it broke the creek, came to test here, and is immediately trying to move away. It seems more likely that this could be a small trap. A trap that might refer to a horizontal creek, perhaps the one I'm showing you right now on the screen. It makes sense, but that doesn't mean we think this is going to collapse. Far from it. However, it could be a small trap, and they might come to test this previous offer line before breaking a larger creek. Something like that makes sense. As you can see, we're generally positive, but at the same time, we're considering the possibility of a small bearish correction that may or may not happen. If we analyze Polkadot on the 1-hour time frame, all you have to do is look at how, from the beginning of November to the beginning of December, it had an incredibly bullish month, experiencing a 215% increase. That's absolutely crazy in just 1 month. Now, regarding this rise, specifically from this starting point to here, we wanted to find the level with the highest transaction volume, and we identified it. I'll zoom in a little bit so it's clearer. We identified this level at a price of 6.19. That's where we have the POC, the point of control. So what are we seeing? We can clearly see that Polkadot started losing strength as it moved higher. That's why it's not too surprising to see this black swan event where the price collapses. What's interesting is how, after this event, the price came back to test that key level, that high transaction volume point, and reacted just as expected. And this is where we're considering and zooming in a bit the hypothesis that we may be witnessing an accumulation process, and all of this could be part of a flat pattern. It could be a prelude to a future bullish breakout. That said, we don't know if this will happen right away or if we'll see a small correction as we're evaluating in the other assets. This would also make sense for Polkadot. Who knows, maybe it will come down, correct, look for some liquidity. It could be a micro distribution, looking for a target before turning around and breaking upwards for real. This wouldn't be anything new, and it's something we might have to consider. As you can see, in general, we're positive. What we don't know is whether we'll experience that bearish correction. And now let's move on to the asset that is the queen of all, Bitcoin. Here we are on the 1-hour time frame. As I've already mentioned, we just broke a very important wedge and we've held a key structure. Not just one attack, but 2 or even 3 times. The smart money has decided to protect this medium to long-term bullish position. Now, zooming in a bit, we can see that the creek was broken with great force. After this breakout, it only makes sense to go back and test the origin of the breakout to test the creek. If they want to set a little trap, why not, before continuing with the impulsive movement? Again, as you can see, we're positive, but we're considering the possibility of a correction. We're not sure if this will happen, but it's something we're weighing. Now tell me, what do you think of the crypto market? If you found this advanced technical analysis interesting, let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so YouTube can notify you of future uploads. And feel free to join our private community, Crypto Insight Premium. You'll learn a lot and improve your trading with our daily live sessions. Remember, the link is in the description and pinned comment of this video. Good luck with your trading, and see you next time.